Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Katie and I'm so happy to have you here. So in today's video, I'm going to be making a bunch of DIY home decor using wood beads. So in my past few videos, like for a few weeks, maybe even more than that, I've been doing at least one DIY in every video that uses wood beads because one, I just love the way they look, and two, I have a huge stash of them. So I'm trying to use them up, and I just figured it would be fun to like take it to another level and do a bunch of DIYs using wood beads. One full video dedicated to it. I kind of wanted to like challenge myself to see how creative I could get and what I could come up with. So that's what we're doing today. So I came up with 4 different ideas and I really love them all. They look super trendy and they're easy and they're cheap, which is the most important thing. So I hope you guys will like them, and let's get started. To make this really simple candle holder, I'm using this copper piece that I picked up in the plumbing section at the hardware store, and then this bottle cap. It just came with like a little jar or something that I had, so you can really use anything like this for the base. And I gave them a quick coat of a flat black spray paint. So this little top here is going to be the base, and then I'm taking these larger wood beads and I just put a bit of hot glue on one of them and glued it right down to the bottle cap for the base. Next, I added 2 more beads, and you can add as many as you want, but I didn't want it to be too tall because the candle itself is pretty tall. So I just did 3, and then I added some glue to the bottom of that copper piece and then just glued that right on top of the last bead, and it fit perfectly. And then all you have to do is put a candle inside and it looks super chic. To make these coasters, I had these just wood circles that I picked up at the craft store, and then this old piece of scrapbook paper that I had left over from another project. So I just took each of the circles and traced them onto the back of the scrapbook paper and cut them out. And then I took some Mod Podge, and I'm using the outdoor kind because I want to use these outside as coasters on my patio. So I'm just taking some Mod Podge and doing a generous coating on each wood piece, and then take the little circle of paper that you cut out and put that right on top and just make sure that it is even on all the edges. Once that is nice and even, you can take another layer of Mod Podge and apply it over top of the scrapbook paper, and this will dry clear, so you don't have to worry if it looks like it's turning the scrapbook paper white. It will dry clear eventually, and that'll be nice to use as a coaster because it's waterproof. So then I actually had this gold paint pen, and I decided to paint the edges of the wood that gold color just to give it a nice little touch to look a little bit more finished. Then I'm taking my wood beads and just gluing them all around the outside edge of the coaster. So you just want to make sure you're keeping them as even as possible, but just add a bit of hot glue to each one and glue them all around. And then that's all you have to do. I made a pair of them and I'm so excited. They're super summery and I'm gonna use them outside this year. So for this one, I'm using these marble tiles that I got at the hardware store. You can get a sheet of these for pretty cheap. Here's another example of a tile that I picked up there as well that you could use, just depending on what shape you want, but I really like the marble. And then I'm also using these craft matchsticks. So the first step is to put a bit of hot glue onto one of the matchsticks and then put a wood bead right onto the end of it and just make sure the glue is dry. And then you can add some glue to the outer edge of the tile and just glue on your bead with the matchstick inside. Then repeat this process all the way around the entire tile until it is completely full. So like I said, you could use really anything as the base, anything that's sturdy, so any type of tile, any shape that you want. But I think that this marble just kind of makes it look a little bit more high-end. So then I decided I want to add some color to it, so I put a bunch of beads onto a matchstick just to make it easier to paint them, and I painted them all this pink color. So then I started stacking the beads onto the matchsticks. I did 2 beads that were plain and then added a colorful bead, and then I added 2 more plain beads on top. And I did this all the way around, so you'll basically have a line around the middle of this that's the pink beads, and then the rest of them will be raw wood. So you can totally leave this as is and make it like a candle holder or a little dish to hold jewelry or something like that. But I also decided to take another tile and line that with beads and then put one on top so I could make a little lid. So if I do want to use it as like a trinket dish or a ring dish or something like that, it would work as well. And lastly, I wanted a way to store my earrings. So I took this wooden dowel and I just marked every 3 inches on it. And then I took some of the larger beads and I just glued them right on with the holes facing out to the sides. And that's pretty much it. I also added a piece of yarn to hang it up by. But you can put your earrings like right into the little holes on the side. And I think it's a really cute way to just store some earrings and have them on display.